ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to not the Let's Go Football podcast. Unfortunately, Ron is still unable to record, as he's still working on moving out of his apartment and into a new place. So it's probably going to be like this for a couple weeks, but we will let you know. So y'all are stuck with me. Enjoy it. So we'll be talking about the usual, some football and some NHL. So let's get started with the NHL. So this first topic that I have for y'all today is kind of a combination. It's kind of funny. So the Nashville Predators have recently been there have been a couple of people purchasing stakes in the team. So two new minority owners. One of them is a guy named Joe Agresti. Don't know anything about him. But the second one is the crazy thing. This is the one that's been going viral recently. So this guy, he is a man he's no stranger to owning real estate in the state of Tennessee, whether it's with the Vols or the Commodores. And that man is none other than Nick freaking Saban. You did not mishear me. You're not on drugs, I hope. Nick Saban just became part owner of the Nashville Predators. Yeah. Former head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. I just need a drink for that. Jeez. Yeah, I might have a problem. But yeah, that is huge news. So, I'm surprised because I did not expect him, of all people, to be really into, hockey. But, hey, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'm surprised he didn't try to go for, actually, no, I can kind of see that. Never mind. I was going to say, I almost completely forgot that Bama doesn't really have a hockey team, and neither does Atlanta anymore. Anyway, that's beside the point. But, hey, you know what? I don't blame him because, being an owner of a sports team, even if you're, even if your sports team is, really bad, it's a foolproof investment because, you're making millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, even if your team sucks. Look at Dan Snyder. The Washington Commander-Skins football team was literally one of the worst teams in the NFL for years under his reign. And now they still suck, but, that's beside the point. But Dan was still making a lot of money. So, hey, sometimes being a piece of crap works out. God, I hate Dan Snyder. Anyway, beside the point, relevant. Continuing on, some big news from the Oilers as well is that Leon Draisaitl just scored his 1,000th career point. This was actually a week ago. But yeah, big congratulations to Leon. He is the first German NHL player to ever reach this milestone. He's also the 5th player in Edmonton Oilers history to do so. So, he's the 5th after Gretzky, Messier, Curry, and McDavid. That is some pretty good company to be in, especially with guys like Gretzky and Curry. Oh man. So yeah, again, huge congratulations to Leon Draisaitl in Edmonton. Please stop wasting his prime, or I will find you. Continuing on, another huge milestone is that Sidney Crosby, Sid the Kid, of the Pittsburgh Penguins, has become the Penguins' all-time points leader, passing Mario Lemieux, who had 1,723 career points with the Pens, and just the Pens, and now Crosby passed it with 1,724 career points. So, insane milestone for Sid the Kid. What a career he's had. What a career he's had. Just all around incredible player. One of the best of this generation. First ballot Hall of Famer, or else pretty much everybody will want to destroy the Hockey Hall of Fame. But, what can you say other than congratulations to one of the best players in NHL history? This man is so good. He actually also became the 8th. He also got on the 8th all-time assists leaderboard. He is now 8th on all time, so huge for him with 1,080 assists. So congratulations to the guy. Congratulations. Another player that's been okay. It's not much of a milestone, but it's still really good. Darren Radish of your Tampa Bay Lightning has been balling out so far. Through 30 games this season, he has 8 goals, which is 7th among NHL defensemen, 27 goals, which is 10th among NHL defensemen. What is this man doing? How is he so good? I mean, are we seeing the return of Erik Karlsson? Are we seeing the return of Erik Karlsson, but bald and no mustache? He is the greatest Lightning defenseman of all time. Who the hell is Victor Hedman? Who the hell is Rob Ramage? So, all of my insane mental gymnastics and rambling aside, there were also a couple of trades recently, so let's get into those, shall we? The Montreal Canadiens and Kings made a trade where the Kings receive a 2026 second-round pick, which is used to belong to the Blue Jackets. I believe that one came from the Patrick Laine trade, and in exchange, the Montreal Canadiens get Philip Deneau, a center. Now, I don't think this is a bad move, because Deneau's been kind of terrible this year for the Kings, and if you think I'm being cruel, he literally has not scored a goal in 30 games this season with LA. He's gotten himself 5 points through 5 assists, but I mean over the past year, he hasn't been great. I mean, last season he had 8 goals in 80 games. That's not good. I mean, he dished out a lot of assists and points, but it's still not great, so whatever. But I mean, hey, what else can you do? What else can you do for him? So, hopefully going to Montreal will help him, revitalize his career a little bit. I mean, because I like Philip Deneau. I don't really have any big issues with him, but, it's the Habs, and he could definitely help them out. Plus, also, you got to consider that he could be looked at as some good veteran presence for guys like, for some of the younger guys, Ivan Demidov, and Lane Hudson. I mean, I know he's a defenseman, but, veteran players can still help it pretty much everywhere. I mean, the Habs are very young. They are a pretty young team, so I think this could definitely help them out. But that's just my opinion. Because I like Philip Deneau. I don't really have any problems with him besides the fact that his nose is kind of busted, but let's be honest, if you're a hockey player, your nose is basically going to be looking like it's completely to the other side like this by the end of your career, so whatever. The other trade that happened was between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Seattle Kraken. So in this trade, the Kraken receive two draft picks. They receive a 2026 fourth rounder and a 2027 second rounder. All this in exchange for forward Mason Marchment. They are sending him to Columbus. Now, Mason Marchment's pretty good. He's a pretty good player. He came off of he's coming off of 2 back-to-back 22-goal seasons with the the Dallas Stars. I'm actually saying that instinctively now. It's kind of scary. And he did okay with Seattle. He had 4 goals in 29 games. But so far in Columbus, he's been kind of a stud, not gonna lie. He has had 3 goals in 2 games with Columbus, which is pretty damn good for Mason Marchment. And Columbus, they're not really a very, no offense to Columbus, but they aren't really good this year, alright? They are currently at the bottom of the Metropolitan. They're literally at 500 right now, so they're gonna need all the help they can get. And if Mason Marchment keeps playing like he is, I think he has a legitimate shot of doing something with them. In other news, the Buffalo Sabres are making moves that are interesting, to say the least. So, Jarmo Kekalainen, the brand new GM of the Buffalo Sabres, recently fired Jason Karmanos, who was the Sabres associate general manager and also the GM of the Rochester Americans, who are the Buffalo Sabres AHL affiliate. Karmanos wasn't great. He constantly brought in a lot of AHL players that were never gonna pan out at the NHL level. But who they replaced him by is kind of something that's making Montreal fans cackle. In Marc Bergevin becoming their new assistant general manager. Yeah, I'm not liking this. Here's like, I think Bergevin has like some shot, like he has some GM chops, but he's not great. I mean, ask Montreal fans, and there will be choice words said that will make you want to be like, okay, kids, let's not listen to the crazy man. But like, he isn't good. I mean, he didn't do well to try to build around Carey Price, and a lot of people credit him with being the reason why Carey Price's career basically got wasted over in Montreal. I mean, maybe he could, like, work out in Buffalo, but I don't see it happening, to be honest, because it's the Sabres, and there's absolutely no luck. Again, like I said, they're like the Rutgers Scarlet Knights of the NHL. They've been around for a long time, and they don't do anything. They also hired Josh Flynn. Now, I don't know much about Josh Flynn. I don't know, like, what kind of stuff he's actually done in the NHL. I'll have to do, like, some research on that, but I'm not sure. So, with all that out of the way, let's get into some football. Let's play some football. Now, there has been a lot going on, but first and foremost, we got to talk about the college football playoffs. Now, as I said, the first round no, oh wait, I didn't say that. I've been doing like a few takes of this, so I probably just they kind of mix up. So, the first round of the college football playoffs have officially wrapped up. And there have been, there have been a couple blowouts, unfortunately, but we'll have to see. I mean, I'll go in and tell y'all. So, first and foremost, Alabama did end up beating Oklahoma, which I don't think is a surprise because Oklahoma chokes pretty much every time they're in the playoffs, so that's fine. And it was bad, man. They had a pretty big lead, and then they blew it to Bama. It was a 34-24 win for the Tide. And so they're going to move on. Then Oregon defeated James Madison 51-34. Miami beat Texas A&M 10-3. I watched that game. That was a crazy game. And of course, Tulane got crushed by Ole Miss 41-10. Now, before I continue, I'm just going to go on ahead and rant about something. This has led, like, the worst part about James Madison and Tulane losing is the fact that now all those naysayers that were saying they don't deserve to be in the college football playoffs, G5 teams don't deserve to be there, they've all been vindicated by this, and I think that's disgusting. So, here's the thing. James Madison did not actually, like, do horrible. Okay, they really didn't do bad. I mean, they had 509 yards, 23 first downs, 0 turnovers, and they put up 34 points. And against a pretty good Oregon team. I don't, like, and everybody's saying things like, oh, they didn't deserve it. Like, they fought hard. They fought real hard, and they deserve to be there. Yes, they got blown out. Okay, well, they didn't get too blown out, but they lost hard. But they still represented their school and program very well. I think it's been an outstanding season for them, and they deserve all the credit they can possibly get. As for Tulane, I mean, they just died to a fantastic, okay, I can't say they're fantastic, but they died to a pretty damn good Ole Miss team. And the thing that really, I hate this, is that now people are saying, oh, they don't deserve to be there because they got blown out. And as a Tennessee fan, this is my counterpoint. So what? So what if they lost that bad, okay? And I know what you're thinking. What do you mean? Here's my counterpoint. Tennessee last year got blown out 42-17 by Ohio State. And Ron, I can hear you chuckling. I was going to say chuckling or cackling. I can hear you cackling over there. Shut up or I will kick you. But no, like, jokes aside, I don't think it's a fair assessment to say Tulane shouldn't have made it, because just listen here, bucko. Damn it. Blowouts happen all the time. So does that mean that, Tennessee shouldn't have been in the college football playoffs? They were really good. They were the number 9 seed last year. And they lost to the 8-seeded Ohio State, who crushed them. Who were on a warpath after losing to Michigan. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't understand it, okay? If you don't want blowouts, too bad. That's sports. That is sports. There have been countless teams that have lost in the college football playoffs by a gigantic blowout. Look at TCU. They got humiliated by Georgia in the national championship game, 65-7. 65-7. Those are the kinds of stats I put up on freaking College Football 26. That's the kind of stuff that you come up with as a joke. That is insane. And we're supposed to just not let in teams just because they get blown out? Then screw it. Nobody should be in the college football playoffs. Every team's been blown out. All the good teams have had a bad blowout at one point. Ohio State, Michigan, your precious Notre Dame, Bama, Georgia, LSU, Texas, Tennessee, Ole Miss, or Penn State, or Florida State, or Florida, or all these teams. All the big teams, all the big names have all experienced gigantic blowouts in their history. And again, as a Tennessee fan, I should know. I drew the short straw by just being a Tennessee fan last year and having to watch my team get humiliated by Will Howard and the Ohio State Buckeyes as they ran all the way to the national championship game. I didn't want my team to be the first stair that they climb, but that happens. It happens in all sports. What about in hockey, for example? I mean, does that mean that no team that should get blown out shouldn't be allowed? It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. I really don't. Okay, James Madison and Tulane were amazing this year. They fought hard to get their place. And even though they lost, they're okay with it. And if you're gonna sit here and be like, oh, well, they shouldn't be allowed in, they should never have been allowed, group of 5 teams shouldn't be there, you're not a college football fan. You're a gatekeeper who sleeps with photos of Nick Saban in your room. You really shouldn't be this upset. It's like getting mad. You're getting mad about underdog stories. And that's lame. And that's really lame. So, that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. So, continuing onwards, one thing that I'll be honest, at first I was kind of bummed, but, at the same time, I understand it. 4-star athlete, which means they play multiple positions, Legend Bay has officially signed with Ohio State. After asking out of his letter of intent with Tennessee, the elite athlete posted a 10.23 100-meter in high school. Now, at first I was kind of bummed, but then, of course, I learned more about this, because if you know anything about the Legend Bay story, it's kind of rough. So at first he committed to Tennessee, and I was excited, because, Tennessee, they've got a lot of very good prospects here, and this was just sprinkles on a gorgeous chocolate sundae. Damn, I could go for a chocolate sundae. But then, unfortunately, things started to come out. Like, as it would turn out, his mom was forcing him to go to Tennessee, and he didn't want to. He wanted to go to Ohio State. And now he's leaving because his mom was just being a jerk. And I'll be honest, I 110% support him, okay? Again, even though I'm a Vols fan and I want all the good players to come to my team, I'm never going to be that guy and be like, well, he should just sack up and play for us. No. He is a young athlete. He has a lot of promise in the college level. And if he plays like he did in high school, oh baby, it's going to be good. But that's it. It's just ridiculous. He shouldn't be forced to go to a school that he doesn't want to go to. And if somebody's going to be like, no, you should just go there anyway, then shut up. Why don't you pick up the cleats? But yeah, so don't worry. So Ohio State, y'all are getting a stud. Y'all are getting a fantastic player. And even though I'm bummed and I wish he stayed with Tennessee, like I wish he didn't get forced to go to Tennessee. I wish he actually wanted to, but if he's his own man, okay? It's his future. It's his it's his destiny, man. If he wants to go play for Ohio State, more power to him. So I'm never gonna complain if a player flips his commitment because he's getting forced to do it. Because that's just wrong. That is just wrong. And I've been seeing the sentiment from everywhere. And if you're an SEC fan, you know that Tennessee fans can be pretty freaking rabid. But everybody I've seen has been like, yeah, that's completely wrong. You shouldn't be forced to commit to a team you don't want to go to just because your mom is twisting your arm. Like, at the end of the day, man, it sucks because I wish he wasn't being forced to go to Tennessee. Like, I wish he wasn't being forced to, like, being like, I wish he wanted to, but if he wants to go to Ohio State and go to wide receiver U, then more power to him, and I will never be upset about that. So, good luck. So, best of luck to you in Ohio State, man. I hope you become a beast over there. So, that's pretty much all I got for college football. Now, let's just talk about the NFL, because it's been getting wild over there, man, because, you know, we've gotten a bunch of teams that are clinching the playoffs. So let's talk about that. So, first and foremost, let's talk about I just had it. Where is it? There it is. It's the Seattle Seahawks are one of the teams that recently clinched the playoffs, and I gotta say, this has been a fantastic season for them. I mean, last year was I wouldn't say it was a mess, but they were very mid. They were insanely mediocre. Geno Smith wasn't great. Their offense wasn't really great. Their defense wasn't really great. Like, it wasn't the worst season for him, but it also wasn't optimal. Let's say that. It wasn't optimal. Sorry, I thought I saw something move. It was my shadow. Funny story there. But yeah, so I think the Seahawks are gonna do pretty well. Like, if McDonald is able... No, I've been watching too much ear injury. Damn it. So, if Sam Darnold keeps his form, because we saw this last year with the Vikings, he was balling out in the regular season, then he got to the playoffs, and he was completely different. He collapsed like a deck of cards. If Darnold is able to keep that form in the playoffs, they are good to go. They are very good to go. Because, I mean, their offense is fantastic. Cooper Kupp's been great. Jackson Smith-Njigba's been great. I mean, I probably said that last name wrong, but, you know, I kind of don't want to mispronounce it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of solid pieces with them, and I remember they gave my Buccaneers kind of a run for their money earlier this year. So, hey, you know what? Like, I'm excited to see what Seattle does. Like, I don't know, like, are they going to go to the Super Bowl? I don't know for sure. Like, I don't know if they're necessarily there yet, but who knows? Continuing onwards, another team that recently clinched the postseason were the Bears. So this year has been a giant step forward for not only them, but for Caleb Williams. Last year, Williams showed a lot of promise, but was constantly, he was getting his ass kicked. There was that, like, massive losing streak that they won, and I think it was, like, I want to say it was, like, 9 weeks of, like, 9 straight losses, but I don't remember. I mean, you know, but then they hired Ben Johnson. That, you know, they got some pieces. They beefed up their O-line hard this year, and getting guys like Darnell Wright. They traded for Joe Thuney, Jonah Jackson, and then they signed center Drew Dahlman. And their O-line has been amazing. And Caleb Williams, he's been able to thrive, and he's been incredible for the Bears. And so, I mean, I gotta say, man, it's great. Like, currently, the Bears control their own destiny for the NFC North title. If they beat the Lions, then they've got it. So I'm not a big Bears guy, but my dad is, so I'm sure he'll be happy about this. I mean, anything to beat the Packers, cause
let's go sports ball!
Jesus Christ. Yeah, speaking of which, so, and another team that's really taken a step forward here are the New England Patriots. I mean, I guess people kind of expected this because, you know, Drake May is really good, and they got a lot of offensive weapons for him, especially with guys like Travion Henderson and, of course, Stephon Diggs. And, you know, they beefed up their O-line with Will Campbell. He really is gonna fight and die to protect him with everything I got and stuff like that. I mean, you have the I Heart Drake May shirts. Hey, you gotta have good chemistry between your O-line and your quarterback. That's like a must. But I mean, the Patriots, they're back. I mean, I don't think they're back, but they're back. You know what I mean? What am I saying? But yeah, I mean, they've been fantastic this year. After a pretty rough last season where Drake May wasn't really able to work his magic this year, he's been incredible. I mean, Mike Vrabel is proving that he was not, in fact, the problem in Tennessee, which, yeah, get vindicated, fool. But yeah, they've been incredible. Drake May is being looked at as, like, probably the MVP this year, which I 110% believe that. I mean, especially with the way that Baker Mayfield's been playing, I don't think he's anywhere close to being MVP anymore, but yeah. So, good on them. I don't know if they're making Super Bowl. I think it's possible. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I do think it's entirely possible. Do I think they're gonna win it? I don't know. We'll have to see. Because the NFL playoffs do, enjoy chaos, don't they? Additionally, the San Francisco 49ers have clinched. They've been through a lot this year. I mean, they had Brock Purdy get injured, so they had Mac Jones in for a while. Then, of course, they were just dealing with injury after injury after injury after injury after injury. Guys like George Kittle were injured for a while. Fred Warner's out with a broken leg against Tampa Bay. So that's huge. It was a tough loss, but I mean, San Francisco, they've been able to fight back. I mean, I watched them play the Colts yesterday, and that was a great game. They fought hard, and and that pick six was amazing for them. So at the end of the day, I mean, with Brock Purdy back and their weapons fully ready, I mean, I do remember George Kittle got sent out, but I'm sure he'll be back. So I don't know if they're going to make a run because I do feel like they're a little too injured for that, but we will have to see. Three other teams that managed to make it in were the Buffalo Bills, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, the Buffalo Bills, I'll be honest, while I'm not surprised, I'm worried. Because everybody's been saying, oh, this is Josh Allen's best chance to make it to the Super Bowl because, a lot of his demons are gone. Mahomes isn't there. Him and the Chiefs got eliminated, and he tore his ACL. Then, of course, there's the Bengals, who, I mean, why bother trying to help Joe Burrow? It's not like he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. No, we have to make him die. Poor guy. Oh, we'll talk about Joe Burrow here in a second, actually, because something funny happened, but we'll get there. But I don't know if the Bills are necessarily going to make it. And here's the reason why. They're a very mercurial team. Don't get me wrong. Josh Allen, stud per usual. Incredible player. And James Cook, he's been doing a really, really, really good job at running back. But then there's the other problems. First of all, Josh Allen barely has any offensive weapons. His receivers suck big time. Keon Coleman's been really bad. I mean, he had good games, but other than that, he's been kind of messy. Guys like Kincaid and Knox haven't been very optimal, and his O-line is kind of iffy right now. And then you have his defense. The Bills' defense has been very hot and cold. I mean, Bosa's been excellent, but they've also been dealing with injuries with guys like Ed Oliver out. There's just it's like with the 49ers. They do have a lot of injuries, but at the same time, it's just that a lot of their guys aren't playing up to full potential. If all those guys finally just get their heads out of the dirt and start playing really well, like just amazing football, I think the Bills could be a force to be reckoned with in this playoff run. And yes, they have guys like Drake, and yes, they have guys like Drake May to face off against, and Drake May, he's a damn good quarterback, and while the playoffs do, they're a completely different beast, I would not be surprised if, they go in and Drake May just smacks him around again like he did earlier this year. But Bills did make that comeback, so we'll have to see. But I don't know, and I do hate talking about the Bills this way because I do consider them one of my B teams. But at the end of the day, I just don't know. And this isn't me trying to crap on them. I just don't know if they're going to have enough to go forward. But that's beside the point. As for the Chargers are a very interesting team to watch. I mean, Justin Herbert's been amazing. I guess that's just one of the perks of getting with Madison Beer, so good on him. But I mean, Herbert's been pretty good. I mean, he has been getting his ass whooped this year behind his own line, but other than that, he's been pretty good. His receivers are very competent. The defense is pretty good. You know, the Chargers are a good team. So I'm willing to give them a shot here. I am willing to give them a shot. Then of course you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are a very, very wacky team. I mean, they beat the Chiefs with Trevor Lawrence getting that incredible touchdown and stuff like that. And I think I said this before, but I'm just gonna say it again. Why does Trevor Lawrence just look like a really weird, like, Renaissance fair actor? Like, I could see him wearing, like, this might be me just watching the bad lip readings of the NHL, of the NFL too much. If you haven't watched those, please do. They're comedy gold. But he's always like, oh, she won't even let me get a sonnet in. He looks like he would be holding, like, a sword and be like, my lady. I don't know. I kind of see that, but I don't know. Maybe I just went to too many Renaissance fairs as a kid. Whatever. But that's beside the point. He's been pretty good. I mean, the team's definitely been getting a lot better, and this is without Travis Hunter, who's been he's been okay, I guess, but I mean, he's out for the year, so. But I don't know, Jacksonville's a pretty good team. I mean, they've been doing well, so we'll have to see what Jacksonville does. We will have to see. But one team that did end up getting eliminated. Hey guys, guess who got eliminated? Hey. How about them Cowboys? That's right. The Dallas Cowboys have been eliminated from the 2025-2026 NFL playoffs. Yeah, it's just in case you guys want to, like, you know, make fun of the Cowboys fan in your life, just remember, it's been 30 years since the Cowboys last appeared in an NFC Championship game. So the last time they made it was 1995. I almost said 20. And the teams that have the second longest NFC droughts, the Bears and the Giants. And the Bears made it back in 2010, and the New York Giants made it back in 2011. That's humiliating. I mean, I understand, you know, over a decade, but like 30 years? Damn, bro. And I mean, they have a couple pretty major pieces that could be gone in free agency, like wide receiver George Pickens, who, yes, I know he's Jordan Bennington with cleats, but he's still a pretty good wide receiver, and he's a good piece for Dak Prescott. And I feel like I don't like Dak Prescott or the Cowboys, but Prescott's been a fantastic quarterback. He's had a great year, but unfortunately, it's like with the Bills and Josh Allen. He just can't do it all by himself. There's also Javonte Williams. He's been a solid running back this year, but he's going to be a free agent. And, of course, kicker Brandon Aubrey, who's probably the best kicker in the NFL right now. And also on my fantasy team. But, like, he's a fantastic kicker, and I don't think they're going to want him to be gone. Come to Tampa Bay. And as of right now, the Cowboys currently have 6 picks in the 2026 NFL draft. They have their first rounder, and then they have another first rounder from Green Bay. That was from the Micah Parsons trade. Then, hey, Dallas, do you think you want Micah back? They also have their 4th rounder, their 5th rounder, and they have 2 7th rounders. One of them from Kansas City, and the other from the New York Giants. So, yeah, I don't feel bad for them. So earlier I was talking about Joe Burrow and stuff like that, and saying, oh, somebody save him. The Miami Dolphins apparently actually tried to get him. They tried to trade up for the number 1 pick back in 2020, because if you guys don't know, the Cincinnati Bengals had the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft. And with that pick, they selected Joe Burrow. and the Miami Dolphins tried to get the first overall pick that year, and they offered 4 first-round picks to trade up and select him. I'll be honest, I'd say I'm happy that he didn't go there, but at the same time, he's getting injured either way because Miami has basically made Tua Tagovailoa into a freaking dud. He's been getting injured all the time. He's had all those concussions and stuff like that. And the Bengals haven't been treating Joe Burrow much better. I mean, he's been getting injured pretty much every year, and it sucks. So frankly, I don't know. It's either you die or you die. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Speaking of the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel's expected to be back with the Dolphins next season, but Tua isn't. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of perplexed by this because here's the thing. Tua's a solid quarterback when he's actually able to play. He's not, like, he has his problems, right? Like, yes, he's always injured. And Tua turned the ball over is his nickname for a reason. And he also sucks in the cold. But, like, I don't know if, like, he's still a decent quarterback and he's pretty accurate with his passing. But that's the problem. But that's also part of the problem is that he's always injured. He's always injured. And Mike McDaniel is a really bad coach. Like, anybody will tell you, he sucks as a head coach. So, I'm surprised that they're wanting to keep him around, but they're wanting to get rid of Tua. I think that's stupid. I really do think that's stupid, but what do I know? I am literally just a guy making content about sports ball. So, whatever. Also, the New York Giants made a pretty good decision for once in that their outside linebacker Brian Burns has secured a $1.8 million bonus for the 2025 season. Yes, he deserves this because the Giants aren't great. All right, like yes, they had Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, and they were both fantastic. But the problem is everything else, and also those two got injured. But Brian Burns has been really good. He has been really, really good. So I think it's a good move. You know, you want to keep him around. So yeah, I'll give him that. Speaking of New York, the other New York team, the New York Jets, have fired defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. Wilks has been terrible, all right? The Jets defense gave up 48 points to the Jags. That's bad. That is very, 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 very bad. So at the end of the day, this needed to happen. This really needed to happen. He's not good, and the Jets are, at this point, the Jets are just, they are, you heard of the tank for Tua, now get ready for the tank for Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, if I do that again, I'm just gonna chop my hands off. I'm just gonna go all Count Dooku. But Star Wars references aside, yeah, I mean, this needed to happen. It needed to happen sooner rather than later, but yeah. The last thing that I have is, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs are planning to move from Arrowhead Stadium to Kansas, which is an interesting move. They have entered into an agreement with the state of Kansas to host Chiefs football beginning with the 2031 NFL season. The team has called Arrowhead Stadium their home since 1972. I am surprised that they're doing this. I don't really know why. Maybe costs are too high, but again, I'll try to look more into this. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, tell all your friends. Don't show up at my house, and go sports ball.